Most people who are watching this right now genuinely believe they're above average in intelligence, and statistically, that's impossible. But that's not even the interesting part. The interesting part is that the people who are most wrong about this are also the least able to see it. Their own thinking is the thing blocking the view. So here's the real question this video is asking. What if you're one of them? Here are 8 behavioral signs grounded in psychology that your intelligence might not be what you think it is. Sign number 1. Watch how you behave when someone doesn't take your opinion seriously. Is there a sting? A quiet need to reestablish your credibility? That specific discomfort has a name. Psychologists call it contingent self-worth, and research shows people who tie their value to being seen as intelligent actually avoid hard intellectual challenges, because being wrong in that space doesn't just feel like a mistake, it feels like a collapse of identity. Genuinely confident thinkers don't need the room to know it. They're too busy with the problem to manage how they look while solving it. The louder someone performs their intelligence, the more likely they are to be protecting something underneath it. When's the last time you said, "I don't know," and just left it there? Sign number 2. Richard Feynman, Nobel Prize-winning physicist, had a rule. If you can't explain something in plain language, you don't understand it. You've memorized it. And those two things are completely different. Jargon is where shallow understanding hides. You can sound fluent in a subject, use all the right terminology, and still have no working model of how it actually functions. Real comprehension gives you the ability to rebuild an idea from scratch, using completely different words. Try it right now with something you think you know well. No technical terms, just the actual mechanics. If you reach for jargon because it's easier, not because it's clearer, that's the sign. Sign number 3. Dunning-Kruger's famous 1999 study found that people who scored in the bottom quartile on reasoning tests overestimated their performance by 30 to 40 percentage points. The highest scores, they slightly underestimated themselves. The worse someone did, the more certain they felt, and the reason is almost cruel in its logic. To spot your own errors, you need the exact same skills that would have prevented them. If those skills are underdeveloped, the mistakes are genuinely invisible. Everyone says they're sometimes wrong. That's easy to say. The harder question is, when was the last time you were wrong about something you felt completely certain about? If nothing comes to mind, that's not a sign of accuracy. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect doing its job. Sign number 4. Every conversation is a data set. The other person has experiences, frameworks, and information you don't have. When you spend the conversation broadcasting instead of receiving, waiting for your turn while they're still mid-sentence, you walk out with exactly what you walked in with. You used the interaction to perform understanding rather than build it. Research on active listening consistently shows that high talkers overestimate how much they've absorbed from a conversation. Smart people ask real questions, ones they don't already know the answer to. Not to seem humble, because that's how thinking actually gets done. Quick question. In the last conversation that mattered, how much of it did you actually hear? Sign number 5. The brain loves a binary. Good or bad, right or wrong, trustworthy or not. It's faster, cleaner, easier. The problem is, reality almost never cooperates. Psychologists call this dichotomous thinking, and it's linked directly to low cognitive flexibility, which is your brain's ability to hold competing ideas at the same time without forcing a verdict on them. Here's the diagnostic. Listen to your own language when you're emotionally activated. Do words like always, never, everyone, nobody come out a lot? Those aren't just intensifiers. They're your brain flattening a three-dimensional situation into something it can process faster at the cost of accuracy. Complexity is where most of the truth lives, and getting comfortable with not having a clean answer is one of the sharpest things a mind can do. Sign number 6. Changing your mind should feel like winning. You just got closer to the truth. But for most people, it feels like losing, like admitting they were stupid for believing what they believed before. So when contradicting evidence shows up, the brain doesn't update. It argues back. Psychologists call this belief perseverance, and it's the brain choosing ego over accuracy every single time. Here's what sharp thinkers actually do differently. They hold their opinions loosely, not because they lack conviction, but because they understand that an updated belief is a better belief. They want to be corrected if they're wrong. That hunger to get it right, even at the cost of being wrong first, that's what intellectual honesty actually looks like. Last time someone challenged you, Did you listen, or did you already know you were going to disagree? Sign number 7. Picture the person who has a take on everything. Never stumped, never searching, never sitting with a question they don't know the answer to yet. Sounds smart. Actually, it's often the opposite. A 2011 study in Perspectives on Psychological Science found curiosity predicted intellectual achievement as reliably as IQ, not as a bonus, as an equal measure. Because curiosity keeps asking why. It goes one layer deeper instead of accepting the surface answer. People who've lost genuine curiosity usually lost it because they believe, quietly without realizing it, that they already have a solid enough grasp on things. That settled feeling of knowing enough is one of the most effective growth stoppers that exists. It doesn't feel like a limitation, it feels like confidence. Think about your area of expertise. When's the last time something in it genuinely surprised you? Sign number 8. When things go wrong, what's your first instinct? The system, the other person, bad timing. That's sometimes accurate, but when it's always the answer, something else is happening. Psychologists link chronic external blame to low metacognition, the ability to observe your own thinking, evaluate your own role and outcomes, and update accordingly. It's cognitively expensive, and when it's underdeveloped, the feedback loop never closes. Without that loop, you cycle through the same patterns indefinitely, just with new circumstances and new people cast in the same roles. Think about the last significant thing that went wrong. How much of your mental energy went toward understanding your own contribution versus building the case for why it wasn't your fault? Not to punish yourself, just to actually learn something from it. The biggest sign of low intelligence isn't any of these 8. It's watching this video and being certain none of them apply to you. And if you want to support these deep dives, hit that subscribe button too. Goodbye.